Hey guys, it's Chris Bate with Cheat the Game coming back at you, and today let's just continue on with our cheat table. We're working on Destroy All Humans, and you remember in the past two episodes we got our infinite health, and we also last time got easy kills. Plus we learned how to also turn on infinite health and turn on and off easy kills at will, where we could have both. We could just have one or the other, all in the same script. So if you missed those, make sure to go back and check those out. So those are great lessons on creating your own flags, and I'll leave that up in the upper right hand corner. But today let's just see what else we can get. Probably just go with something easy, and I'm sorry the work schedule has been very hectic here lately, but we just want to continue on and find different things that we can put on our cheat table, and then later on maybe make a trainer for it. And also I will put a link in the description of what I've got so far on the cheat table. That way you can have it for yourself to look at also as you follow along with these videos. And as I improve the cheat table, or come up with new things for the cheat table, I'll keep updating it for you as well. So look for that link also in the descriptions. Give me just a moment to bring up everything, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, bringing the game up. Let's go ahead and attach Cheat Engine to the game. Go ahead and bring up our cheat table. Yeah, the reason that we get this error is because of the module name has a DH in it. Let's go ahead and X that out. Basically what that means is Cheat Engine is recognizing that as a part of EDX, the high end of EDX. So if you ever see DH, that's also a register, which is the high end of the EX, and it's confusing Cheat Engine, so it pops up an error. But just go ahead and don't worry about that. We'll delete this. Also, we got the turn easy kills on and off, but we have to do it manually. So I think the best thing to do, let's go ahead and turn on our health test. I think we can go ahead and take test off right now and just label that. We'll call this activate for right now, because this will need to be activated for those two things to work. So activate health. That's just for our purposes. Go ahead and save that. And you see we have to come over here and do this manually. We learn how to make a drop down, and we get these two different things. But we can also use hotkeys. We can just assign it a hotkey. And basically what we do is, let's see here, I'll just use the number 9 and set value to 1. We're going to have a sound. And we need a way to turn it back off again. Let's see here. Let's go back to set hotkeys. Create a hotkey, and we'll use Alt 9 to set the value to 0. We can also use a sound for that. Alright, so we got it on. We mash Alt 9, turns it back off. And now we got a way to turn it on and off just via our keyboard. If you take a look, that gets a little confusing, so I gotta figure out a better way to do that, but we'll work on that later. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and turn on our infinite health. Hey guys, I'm going to actually insert this in the middle. I kind of interrupted myself because I did think about a better way possibly. So what happened was my game crashed, so everything I just did I kind of lost here. But let's go ahead and turn on the activation health, see if my hotkeys are still working, and they're not good. I don't want them to work right now. Here's a better way we can do this. Let me put infinite health up here. Let's do infinite health, and what I want to do is I need to grab this right here. This is our symbol that we used for 0 and 1 earlier. So what I want to do is this. Let's go to memory view, and let's just bring up a new auto assemble window. Put it enable and disable. And we're going to use that. Make sure that the capitalization or all, all the syntax is correct. And when we turn that on, it will be 1. And when we turn it off, it will define a D word 0. Let's add that to the cheat table. Alright, now let's just test it right quick. What I'm going to do is add a hotkey right here. So let's create a hotkey, and we're going to use that 9 again, and we're just going to use that to toggle script. We can use it activate and deactivate. Apply, OK. So let's use our hotkey, but what we're looking at is this right here, where it turns on and off by just using one hotkey. So let's try it. Look at that. That's good. So now we have a way to use just one hotkey, and I'm going to put that underneath there, and I'm just going to use that as toggle health to let me know that's in. So now we got a little script that we can just use one hotkey without having to do that Alt 9 and everything. We can just use 9. It turns it on and off. So that's a better way. So I just wanted to insert that in the middle. Now let's continue on where we left off. That's all we really need for the moment. So let's get in there and see what else we want. One thing I did notice that we had this energy beam right here, and you see how it goes down from 100% down to nothing, and then it regenerates. We don't really want to kill enemies right yet. And we also I thought we had a jetpack, but I think I got that a little bit later on in this level. But what we want to do is we're going to see if we can make that infinite right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So while they're attacking me, we're going to go and put this on a float. We're going to go unknown value. Let's go ahead and bring that down some. Alright, now we're at 17, and it goes back up quickly, so we got to keep that in mind also. So we want to pause it right there, and then we're going to go decrease value, and hopefully it doesn't go back up in the pause mode. Sometimes that can be the case. When we come back to it, it'll automatically be 100, then we'll have to do it again, and we'll probably have to enable speed hack and use the cheat engine pause. I'm also going to put this on simple values only, and we'll just go ahead and put in change value. Alright, now just let it fill back up, and it did. Okay, so good. We don't have to go back and redo that. Now we're going to go increase value. Now it's unchanged because we have not changed the value. Let's kind of move it around a little bit, weed out any other values. We're down about 31,000, about 30,000. Keeps going down. Alright, so now let's just go down. Decreased, decreased, increased, and here we got some interesting values right off the bat. Take a look at this 100 right here. Those are the kind of things I like to look at, and let's just freeze that value and take a look. Now it's not going down. That looks like we did find it. So that was fairly an easy find right here. So let's just go ahead and we can have infinite lasers here. So I'm going to find out what accesses this address. And see, that's why I always recommend finding your health first. Take a look. I mean, they're just wailing on me, and I don't even have to pay attention to them. We're just doing our thing. So, alright, so let's just go over here, and this is what's being accessed. If you take a look over in the debugger window, this is what's being accessed when we're not shooting or anything's happening. So let's shoot the weapon and see what pops up. This is everything that pops up when we decrease, and you saw what pops up when it goes to increase. So we do have two different areas writing to that value. This is writing to it when it decreases. This sets it when it increases. And you can see here it's adding, and here is writing to our new value when it increases. So we want it to keep from decreasing. We can leave this alone. So if it's already decreased it will automatically increase it for us. But we can just manipulate where it's decreasing at, which is right here. So let's go ahead and stop that. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to leave everything as is, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so where we left off, we determined that this is where it's decreasing the value, and this is where it's increasing. Forgive me, I had to bring all this back up again. That's why you see different numbers. But same information, so we want to go to where it's decreasing, because we don't need to manipulate where it's increasing because it's automatically going to do it, but we can manipulate where it is decreasing. And this is where understanding assembly code can help you out a little bit, because we know that this is what's writing to our value, so we can kind of look up and see what's going on with it. It looks like it's, you know, doing some manipulations and everything, and then looks like it's determining whether it's 0 or not, and then jumping over to stop it from subtracting anymore. So normally we could possibly use that as a jump and just have that jump over where it never subtracts right here, but sometimes that may work against us with when you got this other top stuff going on up here where it automatically puts it at 0 because the game thinks it's at 0, and that may not work. But we can see here, if you go back up, what's writing to that XMM2, let me get off of it right quick. What's writing to that XMM2 that's writing to our value? We go up, we see that XMM0 is writing to it. Well, what's happening with that XMM0? Well, we see XMM1 is subtracting from it. That's what that means, minus. Subtracting from that value. So here it looks like it's putting in our current value into XMMO, subtracting right here, moving that into XMM2. XMM2 is moving that into our value. All these registers are being used, and they may be used on down the program, so we got to be careful what we manipulate into these things, because other parts of memory may be depending on these register values. So the best thing to do is to manipulate right here where it's subtracting it. And I'm sorry, every time I click on it, it's reading that DH and throwing up an error, so I'm trying to go easy with that. Alright, but here's where we want to manipulate it. I don't want to do a direct byte manipulation because of this error. It can't rebuild it. So if I replace this with a code that does nothing, I can't restore it because it can't rebuild it because it's not understanding this. That's why we need to use an AOB injection. I do not want to use code injection because it's having a hard time reading that address because of that DH. Destroy humans is what it stands for, but cheat engines recognizing it as the high end of EDX, so that's working against us. So let's do an AOB injection, and we are going to allocate memory for it. And we're just going to call this I'm just going to call this laser. I don't know what that thing is. Could call it ammo or whatever, and basically all I'm going to do is this. We're just going to void that out, or we can just erase it all together, but putting 2 slash marks is like it's not even there. But we keep it there for our informational purposes. And basically we'll assign that to the current cheat table, go back to it. We want to put this infinite laser test. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Now let's go ahead and jump to that allocated memory. We're going to follow, and this is what's going on. So if you take a look, that opcode instruction is no longer there. That's what that commenting out does. If I take that out, it would put it there. We turned it back on. So it's like that minus is not even happening. So it's going to just run that. It's just going to put XMM0, our current value, into XMM2. It's going to jump back to the main program, which we'll go back to, and then XMM2 is going to write that value without any subtraction occurring. So let's go ahead, and we've already got it turned on. Let's go ahead and give her a try. I got the game paused. Alright, now we got it turned on. Let's see what happens. Take a look. Infinite and infinite. Very good. Okay, so that was quick and easy, and we've already got a couple of things accomplished where we can turn on and off our infinite health with one hotkey, and now we got infinite laser to add with our cheat table. So we can also go in there and see what else we want. I also know that there is a jetpack. Now I know that jetpack's not activated right now in this current mission. So what I need to do is get past this mission to have that jetpack activated. Let's see if we can get that infinite jetpack. Okay, I went ahead and finished the mission, and we can see that now we have the jetpack if we hold the button, I think. There we go, just like that. And it only goes for a limited time, but it does allow us to come back down. And I don't think it activates again until we actually hit the ground. So we need to determine that. Yeah, but as soon as we hit the ground, we got it again. So we need that information to see if maybe we can find that. It doesn't look like it fills all the way back up as soon as we hit the ground too, so that might be useful in a minute. So anytime we touch a collision field with our feet, it's going to fill back up. But while we're actually in the air, we cannot use it. It's not filling back up. Okay. So that's going to help us here. So we're going to continue on with the float value. Okay, let's go ahead and right now we know it's full, but we don't know what that. It could be 100. I don't know. I'm not going to assume because I don't know. So let me pause the game right here because we know it's at full value. We're going to do a new scan, and we're going to this time do unknown initial value. So we'll do a first scan. And here's where the pause feature may come in handy. Now it looks like it may just freeze the game when we go to a pause menu, but you can also use Cheat Engine to pause your game also by setting a hotkey. Alright, so we did, hang on, let me try that again. We're going to go unknown. There we go. So we're doing unknown initial value because we don't know what that value is. Oh, okay, we did it right. I'm going to close this down here. Now let's unpause the game. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and utilize some of it. And I'm going to pause Cheat Engine when it runs out. And we're going to go decrease value. And I'm using all hotkeys here. And this could take it a second or two. Okay. Now unpause it with Cheat Engine. Let's go all the way back down to the ground. Let's wait a couple of seconds here, just in case it is still filling back up. We're going to assume it's all the way back full. We're just going to go increase value. Now let's hit unchanged and clear some of these out. Alright, rinse, wash, and repeat. Come on up here, pause with Cheat Engine, decrease value. Now start it back up. Let's give it a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, a few seconds. Run around a little bit. Make sure that it's completely filled back up. Then we're going to go increase value, unchanged. Alright, now we're going to do something a little different. As it's decreasing, we're going to hit decrease twice. So here's where it gets a little tricky. So decreased, decreased, decreased. Because you could accidentally miss it if you do that incorrectly. So be careful doing that. But let's wait a few seconds and we're going to increase value. Alright, let's take a look, see what we got. 81, that's pretty good. Take a look. It may be 100, who knows. Let's take a look, see what we got. Let's read both those. And let's see if it runs. Take a look. Alright, one of those values is definitely it. So we make a mental note of that one of these is it. And we know if we need to go find it again, we know we can start with 100 when it's completely full. We just need to determine which one is the actual value. Alright, looks like that bottom one's it because it ran completely out. Look at it, stays at 0 until we hit the ground again. and then it automatically goes back to 100. That's good information. So the top value is not it, so we know the bottom value is it. Alright, let me save what I got and I'll be right back with you. Alright, let's see if we can get some opcode locations. So what I'm going to do is find out what accesses the address. We see what's automatically accessing it when we do nothing. So it is being watched. So let's go ahead and use it, and boom. Here's what's being utilized when we decrease. When it runs out, it pops up that one, and then this is what is putting it back. Okay, so we see here, let's do it again. You see what's being accessed when we decrease, which is these right here. So we know that this is where the subtraction is occurring. So that's where we want to go. We want to keep it from subtracting. So basically I'm going to rush through this quickly. If you take a look, we got a similar situation. We take a look and we see what's writing to the value. I'm sorry, it's right here. XMM1 is writing to our value. And we see XMM0 is subtracting from that XMM1, and this is doing some multiplication or some type of mathematical function. But you know, we can definitely see that the subtraction is occurring right here. It's happening with that XMMO, and up here it's actually putting in our current value. So all we need to do is the exact same thing we just did. Keep that subtraction from occurring. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the exact same thing. AOB injection. We're going to call this jetpack. Found a place in memory, and we're just going to void out that subtraction altogether. Add it to the current cheat table. Let's name it Infinite Jetpack Test. Okay, let's turn her on, and that should have knocked out the subtraction, and we should have infinite jetpack, or we can just fly around without ever giving out. Take a look. I can turn it on and off at will, and we practically got an in-game type flight without having to do any other type of hack to get it, and we can just fly around all we want. So it's always best to see if you can use current in-game functions to get things like you want, like flying and things like that. If it's got a feature like that, go ahead and use what's already in the game. But sometimes, you know, we have to go outside the box and create our own, which I do have videos in regards to that. But now we got flight, and that is awesome. So we have come a long way with our cheat table so far, and I'm sure that there's other things that we'll be able to find later in the future. Go ahead and save your work, and let me save what I got, and I'll be right back. Alright, well, we can go ahead and put those with our cheat table. We can get rid of this right here, and our cheat table's coming along fine. And we need to go further into the game to see what else we can come up with, and there's all kind of things we can do, and we just need to keep at it and just keep looking, and maybe later on we'll go and look at some of these other values to see if there's things that are related to it that may help us later on. So I'm going to continue playing the game and see what else we may be able to add to our cheat table, and we're just going to go all the way till we can create a trainer for it. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to go that far yet or not, but what I'm going to do is, for right now, I'll go ahead and I'll put my cheat table up at Mediafire, and I'm just going to have a direct line link this time, no sidetracks or anything like that. I apologize about that in the past, but I'm just going to put a direct line link. If you want the cheat table to follow along to look at, you're more than welcome to it, okay? But I don't normally make cheat tables just for the general public. I teach you how to do your own, and that's what I'm all about. But you're more than welcome to any cheat tables I have, but I don't go making cheat tables for people, so I apologize to you about that. For those that's asking me to create you a cheat table for a specific game, I don't specifically do that. I just do not have time. I'm sorry. But I want to thank you guys for coming out and supporting Cheat the Game, and I'd like to continue on this game, see what else we can find. I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun with you guys. I appreciate you all your support. I also want to apologize to a supporter of mine, Mathero. I'm terribly sorry that your name has not been on the list. He has been a long-time supporter for over 7 months. My apologies to you, sir, but I just want you to know I do thank you so much for your continued support, and I got you updated now, and I apologize about that. But thank you all for coming out and joining me. I do hope you have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you next time. I'll continue on and see what else we can come up with, and maybe we'll get into some more advanced things later. I look forward to it. But you guys take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what all this is about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You all take care now.